The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Akwasidae Festival 2024. The Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Visit Campbell Green in London on Sunday, the 28th of July, 2024, to witness this amazing event. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the 16th Ashanti was installed on April 26, 1999, reflecting a direct succession to the Ashanti Empire 17th century founder Otumfuo Osei Tutu I. He also holds the position of Chancellor at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, Sword Bearer of the United Grand Lodge of England. Born on May 6, 1950, as Barima Kwakwadua, he is the youngest child of the late Ashanti Henna, Nana Afro Kobe Sua, and Pem II. His early life was shaped under the guidance of his uncle, Honoba Mensah Bonsu, who instilled in him a deep understanding of Ashanti traditions and statecraft. Barima Kwakwadua's nomination to succeed his late brother, Otumfuo Opoku II, as Ashanti Ena, was met with universal acclaim in the Ashanti Kingdom and across Ghana. Ascending to the Golden Stool, he brought a natural gift of calm and radiance that instantly inspired loyalty and motivates those around him. He was raised with the values of courtesy and tact, understanding that traditional leadership involves reconciling differences, healing wounds, and motivating people. Known as Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, he is married to Lady Julia Osei Tutu, affectionately known among the Ashanti people as the First Lady. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Since installed, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II has elevated the profile of the Ashanti Kingdom, focusing on education, economic development, and peace building. He has successfully resolved over 500 land and chieftaincy disputes, preventing potential conflict. Recognizing his leadership, the government of Ghana appointed him chairman of a committee of eminent chiefs to resolve the Yendi skin affair, a conflict that had led to the murder of the king of the Dagbon. His passion for education led to the establishment of the Otumfuo Education Fund, which has provided scholarship to over 5,000 students across various educational levels. Additionally, he founded the Soa Apom Aid Foundation for Children, led by his wife, to support children affected by the HIV pandemic. Through his initiatives, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II secured a World Bank grant for promoting partnership with traditional authorities project, resulting in new school buildings and facilities with water and electricity. His commitment to traditional leadership in modern society was highlighted during his keynote address in the United Kingdom in September 2023, Notably, he visited Trinidad and Tobago in July 2023 for the Emancipation Day, becoming the first African king to visit the islands, aiming to reconnect and strengthen ties with Caribbean communities. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. The sacred Ashanti stool is the golden stool. It represents the authority of the Ashanti king, enshrines the soul of the nation, and symbolizes the kingdom's unity. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. The festival is celebrated every 6 weeks, aligning with the traditional Ashanti calendar, and involves various rituals, including drumming, dancing, and singing. The Ashanti adorned in regal attire, receives homage from his subjects and addresses issues concerning the kingdom. The Akwasidae Festival is not only a time of reverence and celebration, but also an essential element in the social and political structure of the Ashanti kingdom. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Among the Ashanti and other Akan peoples, stools play an important role in each person's life. When children learn to crawl, they receive stools as their first gift from their father. Young women, puberty rites entail sitting on their stool. A husband presents his wife with a stool when they marry. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Nana Poku Wori, head of the Bianco family of Nkuku Brui, Kumasi, the one chosen by Otumfuo, Osei Tutu II, the king of the Ashanti, to lead Ashanti men in the UK. He says, "I am a custodian of Ashanti heritage, celebrating all of our traditional customs and rites when it is needed. Ashanti Man's UK objective is to advance the education of the public in the artistic and cultural heritage of Ashanti Man culture, particularly by promoting workshops, concerts and festivals that celebrate the cultural heritage and music of Ashanti Man. I've lived in Britain since 1986. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Osei Barimima, Gaisi, Botang Adokyo II. I am Oko Nana of the Ogona royal family. Also, Ayam Okosheni in the Oyam Otoko area. Birim North District in the eastern region of Ghana. In keeping with the expectation of Otumfuo Tutu II, I have done a lot for the people in my hometown and in our communities here, promoting our cultural values among the up-and-coming generation of our citizenry. I've lived in Britain since 1983. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Na Tisoi Suyu I, paramount queen in Jamestown, Accra, installed for 13 years. My great-grandfather, my uncle, my dad, also my mother, is a royal of the Tikulis Nahu Ga dynasty. I was nominated by the relevant family and handed over to the kingmaker for capture, anointing, confinement, cleansing, other rites. Installation including outdoor coronation. I am a custodian of culture, women and children, support to the king, broad-based projects including STEM for girls. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Na Adoa Kitli, Queen Mother of Progress and Development. Na has lived in London for 53 years. She is of Jamaican descent and started visiting Ghana in 1996. She states that she has been welcomed by the Ghanaian community and has been treated with the utmost respect. Due to most people in Ghana knowing how to speak English, coupled with the support of her adopted daughter, Na has had no difficulties in terms of language barriers. The Year of Return, Ghana 2019, is a major landmark, spiritual and birthright journey, inviting the global African family, home and abroad, to mark 400 years of the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in Jamestown, Virginia, United States of America. The arrival of enslaved Africans marked a sordid and sad period when our kith and kin were forcefully taken away from Africa into years of deprivation, humiliation, and torture. While August 2019 marks 400 years since enslaved Africans arrived in the United States, the Year of Return, Ghana 2019, celebrates the cumulative resilience of all the victims of the transatlantic chattel enslavement trade, who were scattered and displaced through the world in North America, South America, the Caribbean, Europe, and Asia. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Visit Camberwell Green in London on Sunday the 28th of July 2024 to witness this amazing event. You are all most welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on Galaxy, afiwi.net, and also Mixcloud too. The Motivator Show, the internet's most inspirational podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred Golden Stool. Visit Campbell Green in London on Sunday, the 28th of July, 2024, to witness this amazing event. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred Golden Stool. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the 16th Ashanti was installed on April 26, 1999, reflecting a direct succession to the Ashanti Empire 17th century founder Otumfuo Osei Tutu I. He also holds the position of Chancellor at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, Sword Bearer of the United Grand Lodge of England. Born on May 6, 1950, as Barima Kwakwadua, he is the youngest child of the late Ashanti Henna, Nana Afo Kobe Sua, and Pem II. His early life was shaped under the guidance of his uncle, Honoba Mensah Bonsu, who instilled in him a deep understanding of Ashanti traditions and statecraft. Barima Kwakwadua's nomination to succeed his late brother, Otumfuo Opoku-Ware II, as Ashanti Ena, was met with universal acclaim in the Ashanti Kingdom and across Ghana. Ascending to the Golden Stool, he brought a natural gift of calm and radiance that instantly inspired loyalty and motivates those around him. He was raised with the values of courtesy and tact, understanding that traditional leadership involves reconciling differences, healing wounds, and motivating people. Known as Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, he is married to Lady Julia Osei Tutu, affectionately known among the Ashanti people as the First Lady. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred Golden Stool. Since installed, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II has elevated the profile of the Ashanti Kingdom, focusing on education, economic development, and peace building. He has successfully resolved over 500 land and chieftaincy disputes, preventing potential conflict. Recognizing his leadership, the government of Ghana appointed him chairman of a committee of eminent chiefs to resolve the Yendi Skin affair, a conflict that had led to the murder of the king of the Dagbon. His passion for education led to the establishment of the Afuntu Education Fund, which has provided scholarship to over 5,000 students across various educational levels. Additionally, he founded the Soa Apom Aid Foundation for Children, led by his wife, to support children affected by the HIV pandemic. Through his initiatives, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II secured a World Bank grant for promoting partnership with traditional authorities project, resulting in new school buildings and facilities with water and electricity. His commitment to traditional leadership in modern society was highlighted during his keynote address in the United Kingdom in September 2023. Notably, he visited Trinidad and Tobago in July 2023 for the Emancipation Day, becoming the first African king to visit the islands, aiming to reconnect and strengthen ties with Caribbean communities. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. The sacred Ashanti stool is the golden stool. It represents the authority of the Ashanti king, enshrines the soul of the nation, and symbolizes the kingdom's unity. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. The festival is celebrated every 6 weeks, aligning with the traditional Ashanti calendar, and involves various rituals, including drumming, dancing, and singing. The Ashanti adorned in regal attire, receives homage from his subjects and addresses issues concerning the kingdom. The Akwasidae Festival is not only a time of reverence and celebration, but also an essential element in the social and political structure of the Ashanti Kingdom. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Among the Ashanti and other Akan peoples, stools play an important role in each person's life. When children learn to crawl, they receive stools as their first gift from their father. Young women, puberty rites entail sitting on their stool. A husband presents his wife with a stool when they marry. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the Day of the Sacred Golden Stool. Nana Poko Wori, head of the Bianco family. Oh, I'll stop it there. I'm sorry. I know some of you were captivated by that knowledge of the Ashanti Akan people. There's much more to come. This is the Motivator Show. This is where we translate our words into action and where success is ours for the taking. Yes, I believe it. Yes, I know you believe it. We're going to have a positive, invigorating, informative, motivating podcast, motivating show for you today. Trust me when I say that. Preparation, preparation, preparation is 9/10 of success. And believe me, we have prepared a show for you today. But before we get to the meat of the show, let me first go through the usual intros. First of all, I want to acknowledge that we're connected to GalaxyAfiwi.net. I want to recognize Nana, Chief Pakamba Bai, the visionary leader of GalaxyAfiwi.net. Long may his great works continue. Of course, the previous presenter to me, of course, is, of course, Ghanaian King, or Ogum, he sometimes calls himself. He's taken us from night to day. I want to give a thumbs up to you. Oh, in fact, why don't we get the firework coming out of my head as well? Yeah, there you are. You see it? There you are. That's for you, Ghanaian King. I'm feeling good, people. I'm feeling so alive. So alive. So alive. Now, this transmission, of course, goes out on many platforms, simulcast, of course. For those of you who want purely audio, It's galaxyafiwi.net. Absolutely right. But those of you who want to see me in my personage, as it were, there are other platforms you can also use in parallel. This is the 21st century, of course. So many of you be aware that if you're viewing us via YouTube, it's Galaxy Afiwi. Yep. Forgive me, get that right. Get that right. The Motivator Show. Get that right. Oh, thinking about Galaxy now, you see. It's the Motivator Show. That's where you can find us. That's where you can hear us. That's where you can see us as well. Long may you continue to do so. And don't forget, before you leave YouTube, please give us a like or subscribe. It's totally free, okay? In fact, I'm going to put it all up on the screen for you. There you go. There you are. So galaxyafiwi.net is for audio only. If you wish to see us, if you wish to see me in the flesh, as it were, you can go to YouTube under The Motivator Show or Facebook under The Motivator Show. Indeed, Mixcloud under The Motivator Show. That gives you the options you can use to see us. And of course, excerpts also go out on Instagram and TikTok these days as well. Oh yeah, oh yeah. So we are very versatile here. And the reason why we're versatile, we are maximizing the opportunities for you to connect to us. Others will follow this lead. I'm assuring you that is the case. I also, before I get to the meat of the show, want to talk about our previous shows, which are focused around the general election here in Britain. I want to thank you all, those of you who contributed either by sending your messages, those who presented with myself, and of course those who responded positively to the messages that we were able to share with you for each of those 3 weeks of transmissions. They were impressive, and I know they made a difference, and they'll help many thousands of you to make a decision. Because clearly, if you have the opportunity to vote in a country where your vote will matter, you should vote. Yeah. Better still, get involved in the political process yourself. I'm a member of the Labour Party. Yeah, I believe that's the party that has the great opportunity to effect social change and level up peoples. So we don't have these wide disparity in income and opportunities. That's why I'm a member of the Labour Party. You may not be a member of the Labour Party. That's fine. But I'm giving you where I put my thumb. That's where I've put it, because I see the changes the party has achieved at the local level. And I have no doubt will now, after 14 years, make tremendous changes at a national level. Watch this place. Be aware. What did the Keir Starmer say? Change. Yeah? Very clear message on change. Okay. Also, I want to also thank those of you who wrote in, expressed your ideas, suggestions for future guests. I welcome those suggestions, and I've taken up a number of your suggestions. So thank you very much for your constructive suggestions. And many of them are truly inspirational personalities who I absolutely will have on this show. Okay. All righty. Now, as we're now almost 15 minutes into the show, this is the time for those crucial messages. Those messages which I've got ample evidence have saved lives, or at least has changed the directions of many thousands of you, if not hundreds of thousands of you, your lives. And these are, of course, our lifestyle messages. But lifestyle messages, of course, speak to the fundamental purpose of why we're here. You want to live a long, healthy life. Yeah? But I do note I've attended a number of functions this past strong, as it were, where food had been served. Yep. I'm amazed how I'm 6'1", and I'm about 80 kilos or thereabouts. Okay, all right. I've got a BMI, I believe, of 24.5 or whatever it is. Okay. But I eat thereabout a fistful or so food per sitting. deliberately so. I don't overeat. What I note is far too many members, particularly of the African Caribbean or Black communities, if you like, overeating. Yeah, overeating. And obesity is a big problem in our community. The levels and the amount I've seen some people eat and they're only half or quarter my size is quite astonishing. So these lifestyle messages are even more important over the evidence I've seen this past few days. I know we must continue to share these messages. And I applaud all of you who continue to provide that encouragement to me and to my colleagues behind the scenes to continue to provide these lifestyle messages. We understand they are important. Okay, habits are hard to change, so you need constant reminder. And I take it as being my duty, being an elected official as I am. I've seen the official figures, and they make for uncomfortable viewing, uncomfortable reading. And you study them, you left feeling somewhat uncomfortable. And we're doing it to ourselves, either consciously or unconsciously. We're doing it to ourselves. We can live long and healthy lives, but we have to take deliberate action to ensure that happens. So these lifestyle messages are for you who just need that extra support to make those decisions which are in your best interest. Yep, which are in your best interest. So I'm going to begin with the lifestyle messages. There you go. There you go. And this is for you. This is not an instruction. It is for you to consider. I ask you to consider the amount and the quantum of sugar and salt that you consume each day. Sugar, of course, is one of those ingredients in our cuisines that, particularly when it comes to children, we give to children as pleasure food, as sweets. We smile and we create parties around it. Yep. And we load our children up with sugars so they develop those sugar habits. I had it. I developed a sweet tooth. Yeah. But we are all well aware of the causal link between sugar and diabetes. I simply ask you to consider the amount of sugar that you consume each day. It is a very serious issue, particularly in those of us of African heritage. There is most certainly a call for concern. Okay, in every other family, there is a person present with either known case of diabetes or undiagnosed case of diabetes. It's at frightening levels. Here in Britain, the NHS, or National Health Service, as it's referred to, spends more than £26 billion a year treating people with diabetes. And most of it is type 2 diabetes. In other words, it is avoidable. I ask you to consider the amount of sugar that you consume each day. I equally ask you to consider the amount of salt that you consume each day. Again, this is one of those ingredients we add to our food as a so-called flavor enhancer. This is but a fallacy. I'm assuring you it is a fallacy. Once you significantly reduce the amount of salt you consciously add to your food, you'll discover the food, particularly here in the West, ample amount of food is salted already in the food. As a consequence, the long-term impact of too much sugar, too much salt in our diet, there's a direct causal link between diabetes for sugar and hypertension or high blood pressure for salt. The direct causal link. So I simply ask you to consider the amount of salt that you consume and gradually reduce. I don't talk about the cold turkey, taking it all out in one day. No, no. Gradually reduce. But if in doubt, please speak to your doctor, speak to your nutritional pharmacist, whoever has access to your medical records. He or she is best placed to give you your personalized health advice. But generally, we should be very careful and wary about the overconsumption of sugar and salt. Yep, these are very basic ingredients in our diet that we consume, we overconsume, particularly if you live in the West, the Caribbean, the Americas, and so on. It is a devastating impact on our overall health and well-being. The overconsumption of these two ingredients can and is profound. The other ingredient I need to bring to your attention is carbohydrates, primarily, in our case, derived from wheat-based products or some root vegetables such as potatoes and yam. Yeah? So you see on the screen examples of it. It is simply not the consumption of carbohydrates the issue, it's the overconsumption. I say again, no more than a fistful or so of food per sitting is ideal for most people. Some people, you're very active or you're an athlete, you might consume more. But generally speaking, there's no justification for the amount of food that I've seen, particularly this past few days, some people consuming, and they're only half my size. Oh my gosh. Yeah. And yes, they were overweight. Yes, they were overweight already. So they're already on a trajectory that is challenging. I simply ask you to consider the amount of carbohydrate that you consume each day. The next item, of course, is fat. Fat is a challenge because I've deliberately put on the screen raw meat so you can see the fat. You see the meat which is red, and you can see the fat which is clearly white. And I ask you to consider this meat is just jam-packed full of fat. Therefore, you can't cook it as you would normally. You've got to grill it to get as much of that fat out of that meat as possible. As far as possible, moderate the amount of meaty, fatty meat that you consume. Because our bodies assume the reason why you're consuming this much fat is because you are eating for a rainy day, anticipation of famine, yeah, or scarcity. Yeah, so you know the effect on your body's become bloated. And of course, your cholesterol levels go through the roof. Direct causal link between what you eat and the effects on your body, both outward looking and inward looking as well. So I ask you to consider the amount of fat that you're consuming. And those of you who love to fry your food, yep, you know what you're doing. Your food is just full of fat and cholesterol. And these are challenging, particularly in the quantums that we are currently consuming. For us, particularly in the African heritage communities from the Caribbean or from the continent, it is a challenge. We need to modify our habits. And I realize changing habits is a challenge. Because here we are on the screen, a direct link between what we eat and the effect it has on our internals. Here is an example of an artery, partially blocked artery. You can see the challenge that our blood has trying to get past this partial blockage. In order to get past it, the heart has to pump with even greater vigor. That means, of course, higher pressure. If you increase the pressure in your system, at some point, somewhere in the system, there may well be a weakness. And that's where the aneurysm, the dangers arrive at. So I simply ask you to consider the amount of sugar, salt, carbohydrates, and fat that you're consuming each day. And if in doubt, please speak to your nutritional pharmacist, whoever is a nutritional specialist. Let them design a diet just for you. And the last ingredient I want to give light to is, of course, starch. Starch, in our case, is primarily derived from rice, and of course, some of these wonderful, sweet, pretty food we'd love to give to our children. Rice, of course, is the challenge. Okay, and look, those of you from West Africa, I'm going to say it, the John of rice. Those of you from Caribbean, particularly Jamaica, I'm going to say it, the rice and peas is the overconsumption. Not the consumption, it's the overconsumption of the rice, which is the challenge, You believe you're filling in the gap, but actually, what our bodies believe is that the starch, which is a source of energy, it will store that energy in mistaken belief that you are eating in this quantum for a rainy day, for famine, for scarcity. which never arrives, so your body continues to bloat. And therein lies the challenge. And we teach these habits to our children. And at the very least, we need not to teach such habits to children. It is a challenge, but I bring it to your attention because I've seen the official figures. I've seen that particularly people of African heritage are above levels of sugar, starch. These levels are causing direct impact on our general health and well-being. On the screen, you see examples of bodies, direct causal link between what you eat and the impact on your bodies. I know for some this is uncomfortable, but please stay with me. Stay with us. Stay with this message. You see on the screen, you see a man and a woman with bloated shoulders, bloated chest, bloated thighs, and bloated buttocks, or bottom, if you like, in other company. Yeah. You can see the causal link between what we eat and the impact it has on our bodies, because our bodies there are believing that you're eating in this way in excess in anticipation of famine, scarcity, which never comes. I simply ask you to consider the amount of these items in your cuisine that you consume each day. It is a challenge, and I realize it can make some people feel uncomfortable. I get it, I get it, I get it. But if I don't remind you, who will remind you? Together, we can make the difference. The experts all recommend that what you should eat is raw fruits and vegetables, particularly untainted fruits and vegetables. So you see on the screen, you see tomatoes, you see the beetroot, yep, you see the avocados, the grapes, yep, you see the apples, yep, you see the wonderful oranges and sweet corn, yes, you see the wonderful celery, yep, you see the noriega, yep, you see the avocado, you see the celery, yep, you see the cucumber, yep, you see these are the foods that our bodies most crave, yep, you see the cauliflower. This is what our bodies want. You see the wonderful apples and the pears. That's what our bodies want. Yeah? You see the bananas. Yeah? That is what our bodies want. With this food, our bodies can grow itself, regenerate itself. You see the wonderful onions and the scallion. Yeah? That is what our bodies most want. This give the body what it needs, and it will take care of you. You see the mushrooms, yeah? You see the turnips. This is what our bodies want. You see the pineapples over there, yeah? You see the carrots. That is what our bodies see. You see the almond nuts. That's what our bodies want. It craves these foods because it can use it to regenerate itself. See the wonderful lime, yeah? That is what our bodies most. See the cabbages and the lettuce. This is what our bodies most want. Yeah, you see the mangoes. That's what our bodies want to grow. And many of you, of course, will recognize that we're more than 75% water. So it's important to keep appropriately hydrated. The foods I've just demonstrated are all jam-packed full of water. But of course, because of our activities, we sometimes need to be topped up. Ideally, we need to consume between 2 to 3 liters of water per day, depending upon your height and your mass. It does vary with some people. Again, please seek out that professional advice. I'm giving broad, general advice. But you see the young man and the young woman here just topping up their water supply, ensuring that water is properly hydrated. That is what we need as human beings to live long, healthy lives. It offers some protection, not complete, but some protection. But of course, all that doesn't matter if you're not exercising. Exercise is life. We are meant to use our bodies. If you don't use your bodies, our bodies assume we're simply closing down. Yeah? I say it again, you don't use your bodies, our bodies assume we're simply closing down and preparing to go on elsewhere. Yeah, you know what I mean by that. So you see the young lady, she's got her weights and she's pumping her weight. You see the mature gentleman with a smile on his face, got his headphones in, and he's running with vigor for his life. You see the young lady running up and down those stairs. I can show you that is exercise. Good exercise will get your heart racing and you'll start sweating. You know you exercise. You see the young man, he's doing his press up, his muscles are bulging. He's making sure maintain that muscle tone and strength. This is what our bodies most crave. Good food, plenty of exercise, appropriate amount of water each day will enable you to live a long, healthy life. This is all very basic information. The more complex information is designed for you and what is more appropriate for you, depending upon your height and your mass. But nevertheless, this is good general advice. But if in doubt, please seek out your own personalized professional advice. This is just simply common sense advice. And if in doubt, I urge you to seek out support of your friends, your neighbors, those whoever you trust. I am confident will give you the guidance, hold your hand so you can obtain the professional advice that you need. I conclude by noting that, of course, it's essential that we take care of our mental and spiritual health. Our mental health, if in doubt, please seek out professional advice or speak to whoever you most trust. And I trust that person will help you to obtain the support that you require. And of course, as human beings, we are truly spiritual entities. It's important to take care of your spiritual health. But if in doubt, I urge you to seek out professional advice. What I'm heartened by is the strength of feeling in terms of the messages I've received from you all. I'm heartened that the messages are getting through. I'm heartened by the testimonials I've received from so many of you. I'm heartened that you recognize these messages, these lifestyle messages, are paying a positive contribution to your life. That is the intent. That is the intent. What I'm heartened by is the number of members of the community right across the country and beyond who come together in common aim and common purpose, pooling their resources, getting the facilities so they can exercise together. Because sometimes exercising by yourself can be lonely. I get that. So exercising with others is great. And what I'm heartened by is the ability of our ability to overcome both social, class, religious, or other barriers, to come together, people, just because they're human beings, in common aim and common purpose. I want to refer you to a group of Africans from right across the continent to come together in common aim and common purpose, to exercise together. Oh my gosh, wonderful people. These are examples of what you can do when you have a clear intent. If you are to change, if you are to improve, you have to have clear intent. But working with others with a clear intent magnifies your clear intent to stay healthy, to stay well, to stay happy, to stay vigorous, yep, to stay alert. Do it with others, and trust me, you'll be in good company if they share your mindset. I'm going to refer you to the Countdown organization as a perfect example of what these messages are intended to materialize. Action. The Motivator Show. This is where we translate our words into action, and where success is ours for the taking. Watch them exercise together now. Watch them. There we go.
Cheese. Famous. Hello.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They're exercising, huh? Oh,
you get one life only.
Exercise for life.
One life only. Why we no go use am gladdy and enjoy the time? Palava no dey finish. Time me no dey wait nobody. Now why I dey try for always get am nice every day and night? This one way we all fend we safe, now nobody own. You want to eat with too much, we go down you belly, die now you young. And the balance where you go die left, now all the money young. So why for the pity you say for? The motor car where you let buy 'em. If you see finance where you collect bill 'em. You meet a woman where you let yanam. And if you let the man na for keep 'em. Want them more. The food where you feel for it na for eat 'em. That fine la power where you let na for buy 'em. And tie 'em more. And if you baby love you back love 'em. But if you love them all now, you not for left 'em. Want them more. Cause nobody know Nobody know what's into my old. So every day of my life, yeah, old. I'm fasting, enjoyment, stay go. Now for land, for care for yourself. Nobody love you, pass yourself. All man, they fed for himself. Oh. Now why I know they allowed with the other man, they can't take me peace away. Me joy away. Me smile away. Oh no, no make nobody take you peace away. Me joy away. Me smile away. Oh no,
youngster third one.
every day. I see they also they work for the pay. They like na boku on a small you cage. Land for the loose body one ten. No to money, no to gently. No money make no time man and bother. As long as you get waiting you they eat. Land for the loose body 110. This one way we all fail we safe now nobody on. You want to eat what you want we go down you belly now you young. And the balance where you go die left now all the money on. So why for the greedy you say for? If the motor car where you let buy 'em. If you see finance where you call it deal 'em. Oh. You meet up woman where you let yanam. And if you let the man na for keep 'em. Want them more. The food where you feel for eat na for eat 'em. That fine la power where you let na for buy 'em. And try 'em. And if you baby love you back love 'em. But if you love them all now you not for left 'em. Want them more. Cause nobody know what's into my own. So every day of your life yeah old. A fasting enjoyment stay go. Now for land for care for yourself. Nobody love you pass yourself. All man they fed for himself. Oh. Now why I know they allowed with the other man they can't take me peace away. Me joy away. Me smile away. Oh no make nobody take you peace away. Me joy away. Me smile away. Oh no.
There you go. Okay, I'll stop that now. I think you've seen enough, but the message is clear. Work it together. You motivate each other and you can stay fit together. Yeah? Eat right and you live a much longer, healthier life. That's what we want. It is my public duty to share those messages with you. I've seen the figures and they make for uncomfortable reading. We can together make the difference. Okay. All righty. And again, thank you, all of you who've written in and shared your testimonials with me. I appreciate you. I know it is these are the right actions. Each time I'm here, spend just a few minutes on our lifestyle messages. It can and will save lives. Okay. Now, I want to get to the meat of the show, but before I want to do that, I just want to give a few quick announcements. First of all, if you want to contact the studio at any point and you are viewing us via YouTube or Facebook, there is a chat facility. You can contact the studio at any time. I'm just going to write in there, hi to you all now. There you are. So the chat facility is working, so you can communicate directly to the studio if you're on YouTube or Facebook. And of course, you can both see and hear my personage. Okay. Secondly, of course, those of you who are familiar with these shows, I've given light to, of course, the Windrush scandal. We hope that the new government will address this issue head on. But if you are affected or may be affected by the Windrush scandal, I want to commend to you an organization I had on this podcast of only a few months ago, the Windrush Legal Advice Center. And I would just want to commend them to you because they're doing outstanding work. Let me put it on the screen. If you are affected, or indeed you know someone who is affected by Windrush and they need help, please do not suffer in silence. Contact the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. They're based at 58 Bank Street in West Midlands, WV148PD, or you can email them at info@windrushlegaladviceclinic.com, or you can phone directly on 01902 382 542. too. I commend to you the Windrush Legal Advice Clinic. Please do not suffer in silence. I want to give another thumbs up, of course, to Anthony Brown, the author of the Windrush Act, and I also want to give recognition to the Windrush National Organisation, who's also produced a Windrush Manifesto. We need to have a chat with them at a future date. Let's have a chat with them about that Windrush Manifesto. They want to influence the new government to ensure that this issue of Windrush is dealt with and dealt with effectively. I commend them to you. Another organisation I will quickly give light to, an organisation you can appreciate, I have particular concern with because they are addressing and supporting the needs of our children, young people, 0 up to what, say 30. Yeah, that's still young from my perspective. And I know at 30 you still consider yourself quite young. But nevertheless, it is important that we continue to create facilities for young people. Don't depend upon the government to do it for you. We can do it ourselves. So I want to commend to you the National Association of Black Supplementary Schools, or NABS as they like to call themselves. They've got a website, which is www.nabss.org.uk. There you can find registration of both Saturday schools, after school clubs, or cultural centres, particularly aimed at young people, our children. I wish to encourage you, if you manage one of those facilities, ensure your organisation is quoted on the NABS website so parents will know where to find you. If you can, of course, email NABS or indeed the Inspired Brother Near at info@nabss.org.uk, or phone him directly, or if you're in the UK, 07958 348 558, and speak to Brother Near. He's an outstanding human being, a compassionate human being. Give him the love, give him the recognition he deserves. Set up the website so that parents and others are able to communicate what facilities are available in your location. I commend that organisation to you. It is absolutely fine, absolutely fine. I also, before I go to the main purpose of this show, I also want to give a recognition to that great country called Nigeria. Of course, we've had a number of Nigerians on this show over previous months, yeah, and of course, the focus has been around how to find peace so we can create prosperity for all. An organisation which I'm convinced is an organisation intent for change and improvement to the conditions of all Nigerians, not just some Nigerians. It's a NINAS organisation. I want to commend the NINAS organisation, the NINAS Secretariat to you. If you wish to be a part of that change to improve Nigeria so it can create peace, so it can create prosperity for all, please contact them so you can be a part of that change process, improve governance, improve arrangements for all Nigerians. So if you wish to contact them by telephone and overseas or in Nigeria, it's +234 912 1551. And of course, you can email them at info@ninasvoice, NINASVOICE.org, ninasvoice.org, or indeed you can go to their website again, which is www.ninasvoice.org. I commend the NINAS organisation to you. And Didi, I'll be in touch with you soon. We haven't heard from you for a while. We'll be back here on the Motivator Show. So now, let's get into the meat of today's show. A country, for reasons I don't fully understand, I haven't really focused on, but today I'm mending this. And that's, of course, Ghana, the Gold Coast, a remarkably high cultured country. As part of my preparation for today's show, I have to tell you, I learned so much about Ghana. Much I didn't understand, much I now fully appreciate. The Ghanaians are a remarkable people, a people we should watch carefully because they are truly change makers. High culture, pride, such compassion. Oh yeah, I've learned so much in these past few days in studying Ghana. Some of you have seen the intro video, and you will now appreciate why I speak about Ghana with such, affection. I'm going to bring in my guest, and I'm going to share that affection with both my guest and with you. And you understand why I'm so passionate about Ghana and the potential the Ghanaian people have for the entire continent of Africa. Yeah, peacemakers, natural peacemakers. Yeah, they could lead the way. That's what I believe. So I'm going to bring all my guests in now, and we're going to have a good chat about Ghana and the opportunities, the culture, the peoples, the diversity. It is so possible that you can live in harmony. Yes, Nigerians, they can live in harmony. Let's bring them all in. Let's hope it works without any problems here. Let me go forward. Yeah, there we go. Let's bring them all in. Let's see if it works first time. It'd be nice, wouldn't it? Okay, first person. I bring that person in. Second person and third. Okay, bringing them all in now. Oh, there's a smile. Someone's already smiling at me. Okay, oh, that's nice, isn't it? Oh, if only I'm so lucky every day. Oh, there's someone. Oh, someone's head I can see in Natasha. I think that's your head, or not your head. I don't know what it is. Okay, and the third person I'm going to bring in
That's
if I
correct.
can. Let's see if it works. Oh, another smiling face. Oh, this is Ghana. This is truly Ghana. Look at that. Already you warm to them, haven't you? Yeah, you can see, you can feel the energy. Already I'm warming to them. Okay, first of all, Ghana. In fact, no, I'm going to say henceforth, Great Ghana, Great Ghana, because it's a nation of people that has a history that goes back thousands of years, and I'm going to give light to this. So let's make sure there's Natasha, your head. It's all we can see at the moment. I'm sure that's for a reason, but we won't worry about Natasha. Natasha will take care of herself. Can I first of all focus on my initial two guests, Queen Mother and Na, and of course, just to make sure I've got this right. Can I first of all, Queen Mother, just ask you to introduce yourself first, please?
Yes. Good morning, Akwaba. Welcome to each and everyone who is listening in. Good morning, my chief, my king. Good morning to Natasha, and good morning to our presenter. First, I would like to introduce myself by saying my name, which is Na Adua Katili, Queen Mother the First for the Aduman village, and I'm the Stool Queen. I would just like to say that's my name, but the name, like most countries, your name one, whether it's after a grandparents or your parents. I know in Jamaica, for example, your name, the firstborn son usually is the junior to the father, so they would have the first name of the father and then junior added on. Well, Adura I was born on a Monday. So I get the first name for Adua.
Okay.
And then Katili, the meaning for Katili was given to me many, many years ago, way back in 1996. And the meaning for Katili, a woman with many children.
Ooh.
And that is a very good description of me, because I've given 41 years of early years to this country and to other communities in many parts of the world. So that is a beautiful description of me.
Okay. Thank you. Look, I'm smiling. You're an unusual woman because you've admitted your age on here for the entire world to see, and you're proud of it. And you just said,
yes,
I can't believe you're 41, but anyway, who am I? Huh? Who am I? Hey,
double that.
Okay.
Almost.
Blessings and welcome. Welcome to the Motivator Show. Okay. I'm now going to ask this wonderful, distinguished gentleman to introduce himself as well. Please, sir, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Right. Thanks very much for the audience. My name is Nana Awuku Jan. I am the Amanonehene of Ekwapim Adontin, which is a traditional area in the eastern region of Ghana. And I represent the Adontihene in the diaspora.
Right.
You're welcome.
Thank you. So you are representing the monarch here in Britain.
That's correct, yes.
Wonderful. We are honored to have you here with us this morning, and thank you for accepting our invitation.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. And if I may, before continuing with it, just go to my good friend and colleague. Should I say Nana Natasha or not? You tell me. Should I? You tell me. What is the correct introduction for you?
Simply Natasha. Morning, everybody.
Good morning.
How's everybody feeling today?
We're all feeling good. I'm just going to follow up with you, Natasha, because you are much, on this occasion, very brief. I hear you, just Natasha, but I'm sure you have other names with a meaning behind them. Let's share maybe one or two of your other names and their meanings, please.
So I was born on Tuesday, so my name would be Abner. When I was named, I was named Akwasidae, which is after my father's great grandmother, and she has attributes that they wanted me to embody. So
Wow.
that would be it.
I understand. And are you living up to their expectations?
I would hope so. I have a very interesting story. When I went to Ghana, the first time I went to Ghana, at the time there had been some mix-up. So my mum was close friends with the previous Ashanti before Osei Tutu the second came on. And when we went to the palace and I spent time with his wife, she said to me, "You are Nana Ifyukubi." And she said, "You will live to do things of a great queen." So I hope I can do some of that without the formal titles.
Thank you.
Yes.
And I can just say to the audience, she most certainly has. I can testify. I'm also conscious, though, that the
Thank you.
majority of Africans, both the diaspora and beyond, will require us to translate some of the words we're using today, because today is both an informative day, which it leads to their empowerment and action. So you used an interesting term there, each of you, which describes your position in the hierarchy. And if I may come to you first of all, Natasha, then I'll go back to Nana. You used the term hene. What does that mean? Just for the benefit of the audience, just explain what that means when you use it in your sentence.
I'm going to defer to Nana Ikuchai
Fair enough.
to give more clarity on that.
Okay.
Nana,
Right.
can you explain the word ohene?
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Right. Thank you very much for that. Right. In the Akan tradition, we have leaders.
Yes.
And to put it in a nutshell, right from the family to the community. In the family, you have the parents and we have the head as the father and whatever making the whole house.
Yes.
And then in the town, we have the leaders, the community leaders there, who we call in Akan Edikrofo or Odikro. So Odikro, Kro is a town.
Yes.
Is lead. So Odikro is leading the town. Who is
Right.
the town leader? And then from the Odikro, we have the Ohene. So the Ohene is someone like the barrel head. And in this case is the tradition, the clan, because we have clans in Ghana. So we have the Akans, we have the Gans, we have. So if you are Ohene in Akwapim, which means you are the chief of the Akwapim area, you won't be a chief for the other areas.
Okay. Yes.
Now, from the person we call the chief is who the Akans will call Ohene. So it's just like we had a name father in the English language.
Yes.
So father in the English language has the same name as papa in the Ghanaian language. So when we say Nana, that that particular title is the English version of chief.
Right.
So
Okay.
there isn't a difference between a chief and a Nana or a Nene. It's just that the Akan name is the Nana, and then the English version is the chief.
I understand.
So now the chief reigns in a domain, and now that you've touched upon that, there are so many chiefs, and therefore we have wing chiefs. So we now have a chief for, let's say, for granted, Birmingham, a chief for Southend,
Yes.
a chief for the other areas, and these people come together in their own area, and then they form a traditional area. All the chiefs around the same vicinity come under one umbrella. So when these too many chiefs come together, we call the area a traditional area, something like a district or a region, something like that.
Okay.
Right. So these people will form the traditional sector of the chieftaincy affair.
Okay.
Right. And then these many chiefs coming together, we then have a traditional chief. So there will be too many chiefs, but one of them will be the head. The head will be the traditional chief.
Gotcha.
So in the Akan tradition, it's set up like a war frontier where we have the left wing, the right wing, the defense, and the front wing.
Right.
So all these wings are held by certain chiefs. And then the top gun amongst them will be the traditional head.
Gotcha. Right. Wow.
Right.
Highly
So
structured. Yes.
from the
Yes.
chief or the Ohene to the Omang Hene. So the Omang is the area, the whole big area's head. It will be then the traditional chief.
Thank you. That's very clear, very clear. Wow. Highly structured. And just to be clear, and then they are non-political. This is the traditional hierarchy system as opposed to being a political system where you have parties and so on. They are non-political. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct. They aren't at all. And one more thing to add. So I've just started from the head of families to the chiefs to the paramount chiefs. Yeah. So now we have so many paramount chiefs. So where we have so many paramount chiefs coming under one umbrella, then the top person of this big group becomes the king.
Yes.
Now we have the
Perfect.
king,
I see.
and then we have the paramount chiefs, and then we have the ordinary chiefs.
Okay.
So the person who is a king is someone who has lots of paramount chiefs underneath his jurisdiction.
Right. Okay.
So if you are only a paramount chief and you reign in a certain jurisdiction, you become the paramount chief alone. But when we have so many paramount chiefs coming together, then their top man is the king. So we only have that as the Ashanti king, who has so many paramount chiefs underneath his jurisdiction.
Thank you. That's very, very clear. And I know I am acquiring this knowledge for the very first time. As I said, these past few days, I've been studying remarkable civilization, a quite remarkable civilization, and I feel almost ashamed I've got to this grand old age, and it's only now discovering the truth. It's quite remarkable, and I feel the energy. I feel the energy. And it is interesting as I listen to you. If I may go to the Queen Mother, I noticed you used a term. You didn't say Nana. You said Na. Why
Yes.
Na and not Nana? Just so I'm clear, just to help the audience to understand as well.
From my understanding,
Okay.
when I've inquired, because I like to ask questions,
Okay.
because sometimes I'm called Nana
Uh-huh.
and I just go along with it. Sometimes I'm called Na, which I go along with it. But my region where I'm a Queen Mother, we are Gars, and they use the term which is spelled NAA instead of NANA for Nana. So I think that's just a slight difference of addressing in the different regions, and that's why it still means the same, having a royal title. I don't have Miss and Mrs. and those ones, but I have Nay, which is okay with me. It's
Okay.
my title, and that's fine.
So,
Yeah.
so the Na is really the
Can
Ga
I
tradition. Yes,
reiterate?
of course, yes,
Can I reiterate on this?
of course, of course.
Right. Okay. With what Na said, the long and short of it is Na comes from a certain area, region of the country. Excuse me. She is a Gan. So just like I said of the Nana and Chief, is the same thing. Na in the Gan means Queen Mother.
Okay, right. I
Right.
see.
So
Yes.
then the male part of the Gan leaders or the Gan chief is called Ni, and
Ni.
that Ni is the same as Nana. It's just that there are two different languages here.
I
So the
understand.
Akans will say Nana, and then the Gans will say Ni. Then the Akans will say Nabia, and then the Gans will say Nah. So hers is no different from ours at all. It's the same
No.
thing, but it's because of it's just like a French man will name their queen in the French language, something else I don't know, and then the English will call theirs queen,
Great.
if that
Yes,
makes sense a bit.
I
So it's
understand.
the
Yes,
same.
it does. It does. Perfect.
Thank you. And you're very clear. You're a natural teacher, if I may say so. And I know something about teachers. Trust me, very well said. And I believe the audience are becoming of greater knowledge. I see a picture behind you. Is that picture
Yes.
of the monarch that you refer to?
That picture was taken
No, no,
at
not
a
just. Oh, I'm
function
sorry,
here.
sorry. Nana, but behind you, you have a
Oh,
picture.
is this for
Yes,
me?
yes, yes.
Oh,
Sorry,
that
yes,
picture over there.
yes, yes.
Yeah, this is me at a traditional function.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Thank you. And I wondered if you had a picture of the king handy, but never mind. It's okay. Don't you worry. It'll be really useful for the benefit of the audience to see. Yep, to see them. And if I may go back to you, Queen Mother. So I see your pictures behind you. I noticed that Natasha doesn't have any pictures behind her. You see, so I can't refer to her right now. Tell us about the pictures behind you. There's someone who looks very glamorous behind you. Is that you behind
Oh,
you?
the
Mhm,
picture behind me is
mhm.
in my traditional
Oh,
royal kente cloth.
wow.
I was at a fundraising function earlier on this year,
Mhm,
fundraising along with my church at a
mhm,
banquet
mhm.
for Kalabu Hospital, fundraising for a department there, and
Mhm.
also fundraising for a community of blind people, which we
Okay.
support in Accra itself. There's
Yes.
many functions like this that
Mhm,
we attend to
mhm.
fundraise and to highlight as much as we can to help the various different bodies in Ghana, or especially with the children and the hospitals.
Yes.
Or education. So that was fundraising here in London.
If I may, and thank you for that response. Let's go on to this interesting festival. And I have to say that the great Natasha up there introduced me to what I consider to be. At first, I thought maybe, well, what is this? What is the Akwasidae festival? What on earth could that be? Okay. And I had absolutely no idea. And again, I expressed some shame. I'd got to this great mature age. I was unaware of what it is. And I must say, there are many of us from the Caribbean and from the Americas who are still unaware. It is hoped that through channels such as this, we can raise consciousness, raise awareness. Okay. Can I ask you, if I can ask you, Nana, can I ask you, please, just give us a brief history of what it is, the Akwasidae Festival. What's its purpose and what's its significance within the Ghanaian community, please? Do you know?
Is this for me?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Right. Okay. Akwasidae is a festival in the Akan tradition in Ghana. Ghana has a huge landmass of Akans. We share boundaries with the north, and then the Gans and the Evers. In the middle sector are all Akans. We have the Ashantis, we have the Kwaus, we have the Atims, we have the Akwapims. All of us are Akans. We speak the same language, but with slightly different dialects.
Okay, understood.
Right.
Yes.
So, an Akan, an Akwapim man can say a word, me say. It means I say. Now, this word me say, and Ashanti man would say it me say. So if you listen to it carefully, you see that they are quite close. Me say.
And if I may just interrupt you, believe it or not, in Jamaica, we say exactly the same thing. We say missy. So you know, yeah, we say exactly the same thing. Wow.
Right. So now, the Akans have this tradition of the Adai. Now, the word is Adai, and the Adai is celebrated on Sundays.
Okay.
And Sunday in Akan is called Kwesida. That's why we call it Akwasidae. This is Kwesi's day, right? So it's a Sunday, Akwasidae.
Okay.
So this celebration is always celebrated on Sundays. Now, when the missionaries came to Ghana, the Akwasidae is a special day where all the Akans and their elders and their families will congregate and have discussions and think about their welfare, the community, all the issues in the community. So this takes all the group of the church to go and celebrate that Akwasidae. So that was disrupting the church services. So because of that, they instituted another day which is called Ewuku Dai, so that
please say again. Please say it again. I didn't quite hear the word.
And we have Akwasidae, and then we have Ewuku Dai. So Ewuku Dai is on Wednesday, which is Wuku Dai. That's why we call it Ewuku Dai. Akwasidae is Sunday, so I will call it Akwasidae, right? So they shared this wait, so that a chunk of the duties that would have been celebrated on the Sunday could be done on a Wednesday so that they can go to church on the Sunday.
Okay.
Now, coming back to the essence of the Akwasidae, more or less, it is the Akan calendar. We use the Akwasidae to calculate our calendar, our time to arrive at the year, the Akan year. And you are
If I
not
may
going to be.
ask you, at this point, so what's the difference between the Akan calendar and the Gregorian calendar that we
I am
traditionally
going
use
to
here?
come to that, and
Yes,
it's
thank
very interesting, right?
Yes.
So
you.
now, in the Akan, before
Mhm,
the missionaries arrived in
mhm,
Ghana,
mhm.
we already had our way of life, and we
Absolutely.
could
Yes.
deal with our lifestyle, and we could
Yes.
calculate our things,
Yes.
right? So, um, just now, strictly speaking, looks like we are now multitasked. The Ghanaian culture is now multitasked because we had our own way of doing things, and then we had to embrace the Western
Hmm.
idea of how to do things.
Hmm.
So now, in the Akan tradition,
Hmm.
now our week, what we have a week, just like in the English, we have a month, then
Hmm.
we have a year,
Hmm.
right? So our week, you will be surprised to realize that our week is 8 days. It's not 7 days.
8 days. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, that's
What
where
are the
the
name of
surprise.
those days in that case?
Our week is 8 days. Our month is 40 days.
Oh, okay.
There you go. Right. So now, for our week to be 8 days, in the Akan tradition, if you are born on a Friday and you want to celebrate your birthday, right? 1 week in um, the Western calendar, 1 week in the Western calendar is 7 days. So on, if you start your 1 week on a Sunday, the week will end on a Monday.
Mm-hmm.
That
Mm-hmm.
makes it. Is that correct?
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Is that right?
Okay.
Okay.
Your starting day in the Western world is a Sunday. So
Yes.
1 week will be Monday.
Right.
Okay.
Yes.
Now in the account world, if you are born on a Monday or a Sunday, your week will end on a Sunday. So you cannot be born on a Sunday to be given a Sunday name and celebrate your birthday on a Saturday.
Sunday. Oh, okay. I understand that.
No,
I suppose
you see?
maybe others maybe have this disconnect. So the 8 days.
Yeah, it's the week.
So
What
Monday.
we
So
are saying
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's the extra day. What do you call it? What is the extra day? When I'm referring as the
right.
extra day. That's all.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the account counting is if you are called Kofi, which
Mhm.
means you were born on a Friday, your birthday, your 1 week will be the same Friday. You cannot be Kofi on a Thursday again.
All right. Ooh, this is good. I think I'm getting this, but
Natasha, are you getting this right?
uh-huh. Okay. So it's eight
If you are
days, you
born
said.
on a Monday,
Yes.
your birthday will be a Monday.
Ah, got you
Yes.
now. I understand because you've gone in full circle.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
So
Yes.
Yes.
in Akan, we call it 1 week,
1 week. Got you.
right?
Got
Oh.
you.
So if you look at that, it becomes now 7 days plus the extra day. Okay. So now, yes, Natasha, you want a question?
Yes, I was saying, so that takes into calculation every year when the month changes, the week changes, you still allow for the same day. So you're never allowing the day to
Exactly.
change.
No, that's
So
correct.
if it's the
Yes.
Friday, so you calculate the leap years, you're calculating months that have 28 or 31, the differences, but it has to be the actual Friday. And by
Exactly.
creating an 8-day system, it
Yeah.
allows for that.
Yes.
Yeah. So I'll come
And
back to that.
may I also say, it will then reduces the amount of months, wouldn't it then?
And
We wouldn't have
I'm
12
coming back
months.
to that. I'm
We're all
coming back
getting
to that.
involved now.
So
Yes.
so now that's why I said this is a multitask. We
Uh-huh.
have this at the
Yes,
back of our minds. This is what we use to calculate our adai, right?
yes,
And then we have to scholastically follow the Western calendar for our official works. By our traditional calculation, this is how it is done. So our week is what's that? 8 days.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what happens is our adai is every 40 days. Now, the 40 days are counted from the last awukudai. From the last awukudai, right? 18 days after that awukudai becomes the Akwasidae.
Oh, gotcha. Yes.
Then
Makes sense. Huh?
from the Akwasidae to the next awukudai is 22 days.
Wow.
So if you add that 18 days to the 22 days, it becomes
Mm-hmm.
1 month
Yes.
in our context, right?
yes,
Now, it is just like we have a fortnight in the English uh, sense and then a month
Yes.
in the English sense.
Yes.
So we now have a Wukudai, which is 18 days, and then Akwesidai, which is 22 days. It becomes 40 days. And now you will be surprised to
Oh.
notice that the word or the number 40 is very, very, very significant in humanity.
Mm-hmm.
If you go into the Bible, you will come to realize that so many things happen within 40 days in the Bible.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
The
Yes.
Noah's Ark,
Yes. 40
the
days.
flood,
Yes.
Moses going to get the laws,
Yes. 40 days. Yes.
40 days, 40 nights.
Yes. Yes. Uh-huh.
Now, Jesus going to the mountain to pray, it took him 40 days, 40 nights.
Right. Yes.
Now, after the resurrection, the ascension,
Yes.
40 days, 40 nights,
Uh-huh.
Goliath, he threatened the the Philistines, Goliath threatened
Yes.
these Jews for 40 days, 40 nights
Nice.
before David was able to come. And I can go on and on and on and on and on. So you will come to realize that 40 days is not for nothing. It's very,
Mm-hmm.
very significant. So you won't believe why our ancestors back at that time, when we say civilization started from somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
probably help you to know that, oh, these people have something very little that we haven't looked at.
Mm-hmm.
So now, coming back to this point, we calculate our month based on the 40 days, and our year is 9 months.
9 months. Okay.
9 months. So when we
yes,
this picture you see behind me here,
Uh-huh.
that was a festival. I was giving a speech at a festival, right? That is the Ujra. So it is after from the 9 months, we calculate 40 days, 40 days, 40 days, 9 months again, then it's the year. Then we have to go to the Ujra again. So if you calculate 40 times the 9,
Mm-hmm.
you get close to your
Yes.
year.
Yes.
Here, this is 360 something, is it?
Yep. 32?
The the Western calendar.
Yes. Oh, wow. I
So
see it
you
now. Yes, I
wonder
see it.
how
I see
people
it.
have managed to get 9 months a year to almost come closer to 12 months a year figure.
Wow. This has
Right.
truly been an eye opener. It has truly been an eye opener.
So, all right.
I'm told. I'm told that uh, the Akan have travelled from Egypt. You were part of that dispersal. Am I right in saying that?
Yes.
Uh-huh. I see Natasha. Yes, Natasha.
Natasha, did
Yes,
you want to
yes,
ask a question?
yes.
Yes. I just wanted to just remind when this I believe it's Libya and Liberia. It's Egypt and Libya, isn't it, Nana? The migration from the top.
Oh, yeah, Egypt.
Yeah, because Chita Nato Diop has that in one of his Civilization and Barbarianism. And Chancellor Williams, in his book Destruction of the Black Civilization,
Yeah,
he talks about the movement downwards
yeah,
and,
yeah.
and how people were forced into the hinterlands. But I think you're going to come on to my next point, so I'm going to reserve it because Nana, you're very structured. I was going to ask a different question, but I'm going to wait until the next slot.
All right, okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so, right. So much for the Akan calendar. I just told you Adai is our calendar, Akan calendar. So, I think I have tried to explain how we arrive at our counting.
Yes, you
Now,
have.
what happens in the Adai itself is, as I've said of old, is a time for the people to come together. You know, people travel to the hinterlands for various reasons. So at the end of the year, they all come back home. So things that have happened while they've been away, these things are discussed in various homes, and then the whole city or town has a ceremony. They start from one point, maybe a Sunday or a Saturday, and each day they have activities that they do until it comes to the climax,
Okay.
where the paramount chief will sit in state, and this was one of the occasions that you've seen me there. The chief will sit in state, and everyone will come and pay homage to him,
Yes.
and all the families will have the opportunity to come to their hometown and meet families and discuss things, people who have passed on, and people who have married, and troubles that have arisen in their absence. All these things are discussed. So this is a time for the chief to sit, for the people to come and pay homage.
Right.
And in this occasion, in every town, we have workers, we have visitors, we have all sorts of people around. So it isn't something that is confined to only the citizens in the town. Everyone far and near come round to pay homage, and that is the only chance that the king or the chief is available, and the whole thing is quite open. Everyone can go and say hello, greet, or pay homage to the king. Natasha has organized one here at one point. If she remembers, you realize there was a big gun from Ghana who came in, and everyone had the opportunity to go straight to him to shake hands with him. That's the only chance that the king is open to the public, and everyone can come around to grace the occasion. That's the climax of the Akwasidae.
I would imagine with this level of social structure, why this is one of the reasons why there's relative peace in Ghana, because it's well structured. There are opportunities to resolve problems collectively. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's powerful. We need that in this country. we definitely need it in this country. We need this level of structure. But I'll think about that in another time. You're providing an example for civilization which has existed for thousands of years and become highly structured and have understood how to manage thousands of people, and to manage it in such a way that the authority of the head is respected. Okay, it kind of leads to my next question. Is the structure just for the Ashanti people, or all peoples across Ghana sharing the same structure, or do they have separate structures to what you described?
Right. Okay. This particular Akwasidae issue is for the Akans.
Okay.
In the same way, we have the same version, but just like I said of old, I told you a Gan will call his chief Ni, and then the Akans will call their chief Nana.
Yes.
So it's the same structure, the
Yes.
same way of doing things, the same people coming together, the same reasons why they've come together, and the
Yes.
same open forum for all the citizens far and near to come. But we just call ours Adai. The Gans will call theirs Homowo, which means Homowo,
Yes.
which means this is a hunger festival.
Yes.
Right. Yes.
Can I
And I
say,
think I can carry on with that. Yes.
No. Yes.
yeah, we've just celebrated our Hamawa festival. We went first in Accra, and then I think Jamestown will be the next, and then it goes around the circuit. In saying so, I wasn't able to attend, but I've got some beautiful pictures and videos of the celebration in my village that was sent to me. And we use certain items that we have the head of the woman. They take charge of preparing the maize by soaking it and then drying it and then adding oil and salt to it. And on the actual day, it is put in front of the palace. And some is kept inside of the kitchen, obviously, because it will be shared for everybody. It's enough for everyone to have a feast. And it is the chief, Nay, who will be the one to be sprinkling
Yes.
and doing all that ceremony and so on. So, yes, it's very interesting to see. All this is new to me because even though we have in Jamaica, we have a compound town.
Yes.
We have chiefs there and the
It is
elders.
true. Yes, it is true.
I've not been to any other festival apart from on the 6th of January when we, I suppose it's similar to, it's not quite the same as Akwasidae, but it's the time of the beginning of our, we don't have like the Christmas the 25th and those celebrations. We have the 6th of January and we remember our ancestors.
Yes.
And we bring food down to the graveside and we do all the prayers and remember them. It's a very wonderful, wonderful. If you ever get a chance to go to Jamaica, which I'm hoping to take a few people, maybe not for this Christmas, but maybe in about a year, the next year after, to see that celebration and how it all entwines with the Ghanaian culture.
Okay. And so my earlier question, in which I was alluding to the Gar and Tree speakers, I understand the structures and they're running in parallel. Do they come together? Is there a ceremony that brings all the peoples across Ghana together? Is there a festival or a day or a ceremony that brings you all together as one nation? Maybe is there one, or am I plucking at straws? Who wishes to respond? Who can respond to that question?
I've never experienced all of us coming one time together because Ghana is a big place. It's
big.
not small,
Yes, it's big.
and the regions are also different. But
Mm-hmm.
I have experienced
Mm-hmm.
the opportunity and opportunities to mix with all the different cultures, all the different palaces and
Mm-hmm.
different groups of people at different times. Like, for example, being a queen mother in the Ga culture, and then I can also go and attend to Akwasidae.
Okay.
So I don't have
Uh-huh.
any boundaries in mixing
Okay,
and
good.
taking part in the activities. And
Yes.
recently,
Uh-huh.
our Ashanti king traveled from all the way from Kumasi, which is history, to Accra to meet with our king.
Oh,
So you can see
good.
that the connection and the link is there.
Right. Okay. Okay.
And Akwasidae, which is coming up soon,
Mm-hmm.
in Campbell Green Park on the
Mm-hmm.
20, Sunday the 28th to
It
celebrate
is.
Akwasidae.
It is. Yes.
I'm Gar Queen, but there's a lot of other kings and queens that's going to be there who's from the Ashanti kingdom and from other kingdom as well. So we
Mm-hmm.
do mix and meet.
Good. 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 If I may ask you, if just to take our conversation forward, I'm just conscious of time, but just to take our conversation forward, in resolving disputes, are they legally binding if those disputes are resolved within this framework, or do you have to go back to the secular world, as it were, to have those disputes legally binding? You tell me, Nana, are the resolving disputes legally binding? Mhm.
Right. Is this for me?
Yes, yes, for you, yes,
Right.
for you,
Okay.
yes.
Yes, it is.
Hmm.
Uh, this is because, first and foremost, the
Hmm.
citizens there belong to a family. The
Uh-huh.
families belong to a clan, and
Yes,
the clans come under the jurisdiction of the king or the chief.
very good,
So
very good.
there isn't any way around it. Whatever you do, you are going to still live in the environment. So
Yes,
if the elders there sit on your case
yes.
and they judge it and you are not happy with it,
Uh-huh.
there is no way you are going to get out of it. Wherever you take the case to, you finish with it, you are going to come back
Hmm.
to the same environment
Right.
with them.
Okay.
So it's always very, very difficult. And it isn't anything like bullying. The people are very much straightforward and honest
Yes. Okay.
because they believe in their spirits. The stools that we sit on or we handle,
Hmm.
uh, we have a belief that we have our ancestors are there and keeping an eye on the governance of their people. So if you mess about with anyone's life, you are in for it. So first and foremost, the judiciary is very, very careful not to mess up the rules, and then the people trust that they wouldn't be messed up. So that it ends there straight away. It doesn't go anywhere. If there are special issues where it is a court case and it's been
Hmm.
taken to a court, then so be it, they have their issue. But anything within the jurisdiction, yeah, they are handled by the palace and
Right.
everyone obeys that.
A question. And I will continue to return back to this current line of question, but you mentioned the stool. And having read extensively now the significance of the golden stool, I hadn't fully realised until again I'm embarrassed until only a few days ago. I hadn't fully realised its significance. Can I ask you just to elaborate, explain the significance of the golden stool in your culture and why it is that significant? Mhm. Please, Nana, please, because you do this so well. To you, sir. To you,
Yes,
sir. Yes.
yes.
Mhm. Please explain to us. Yes.
You have really, really, really knocked the whole thing out of the copybook. This can be discussed here. The golden stool is a golden stool, and that's as far as I can take you to. But
Hmm.
I can assure you that the golden stool is a united stew. We say golden stew, which means it's one stew.
Okay.
That's not the case.
Mhm.
The golden stew arrived at a point where we had so many chiefs from so many divisions bringing their stews together,
Yes.
and there was a whole way of conjoining certain things.
Mhm.
Then everyone's stew was put together, and this, in the end, magically, they lost all their stools, and out came. So the stools for all these paramount chiefs were wooden stools.
Uh-huh.
Mhm.
Right. So everyone brought theirs. It's just like I've got four of us here. Yours, Nas, Natasha's, mine.
Mhm.
We brought everything together.
Mhm.
We put it together.
Mhm.
Someone conjured something, and
Yes.
then the whole lot vanished, and
It's
out came the golden stew from the wooden
okay.
to the golden, as we are told, from heaven, and
Heaven.
everyone
Yes.
saw that.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So now what happens is you have your lot in there, I have mine in there, and you are coming in with your followers. I am coming in with my family.
Yes.
So we all have one stool now. So we are not going to mess about with this particular
No.
one
Mhm.
stool. That's why
No.
it's something you can't describe. If you touch the golden stool, you've touched the whole nation, and you won't be
Okay.
set free. It's very, very special. The nitty gritty of it,
Uh-huh.
we can talk about sometime
Uh-huh.
later.
Yes. Okay. Fascinating. And is this the golden stool pertinent to the Akan tradition, or would it include the Gach as well? Do the Gach people have stools as well, or not? Just so I'm clear. Could you remember?
All chiefs
Mm-hmm.
in Ghana
Mm-hmm.
have stools,
Okay.
but the golden stool is particularly uh, Ashanti stew
Okay.
or the Akan.
Uh-huh.
So the Gans have theirs, the Evers have theirs, the
Ah.
Hausas have
Okay.
theirs. They
Yes.
all have theirs.
Uh-huh.
But as Na said, all the chiefs are united. They come together. So no one questions about which one is yours too, which one is mine too, and we all respect the Goldens too. Yes, Natasha.
Natasha. Yes, Natasha.
So, Nana, that brings us to a very interesting point.
Mhm.
Um, we, the Suffolk Black Parents Forum have produced booklets to
Mhm.
accompany the event.
Mhm.
So I think it's very important that whilst there's been a big focus on the beauty of the park event, so if you go onto the website, you will see some beautiful videos of the Akwasidae ceremony, and
Mhm.
Nana has already alluded to Asante Jasihine being at the last event.
Mhm.
Today, this show has focused on the culture, the
Mhm.
history, and
Mhm.
the symbology behind the event.
Mhm.
And Nana has also attended previous events with us and has been available with Nana Keatsley at War of Heritage Centre, where there was an exhibition piece, and we spoke about the Commonwealth countries and
Mhm.
how colonization has impacted
Yes.
the way we do things.
Yes.
So the coming together of the Akwasidae Festival in Southwark in particular,
Mhm.
whilst there's a big focus on the beauty, the glamour, oh my goodness, I mean,
Mhm.
people said to us it was like African kings had descended from heavens. We had
Absolutely.
schools contacting us because
Yes.
children had gone to primary school and said, we have seen these wonderful African kings, and the
Yes.
children were impressed. They were
Yes.
able to
Yes.
go to the
Yes.
kings, take pictures, shake their hands. You
Oh,
will see
can you
that
imagine, huh?
elderly
Yes.
people came from a
Yes.
care home
Uh-huh.
and they sat with Nananum. Nananum had them to the side of them in
Mhm.
proximity,
Mhm.
and it was a wonderful affair. But the
Yes.
significance is it is a very important cultural practice that
Absolutely.
not only includes local decision making, but spirituality.
Yes.
So when Nana Ekujan says that the golden stool is not something that we discuss so loosely and freely, because there are practices behind the stools, and there are different groupings. So like Nana Ekujai is part of an eclectic organization of different rulers, traditional rulers, installed and enskemed. So even abroad, those who occupy those stools, whether they are installed or enskemed, they take this responsibility seriously, and they commence their meetings and think about ways to advance the people they represent in Ghana and somewhat in the UK. And we want to sort of, the Southern Black Parents Forum is really about bridging that gap. So the Akwasidae Festival wasn't chosen because there's a Ghanaian director, which is Tyrese Asamoah. It was chosen because of the intricacies behind the culture and the actual Akwasidae. And Nana has just given you a snippet. He's given you a snippet. Imagine if we can practice this within our communities to meet every 18 days, then 22 days, making it 40 days, then have a big day where the main man is happy, as Nana would say, the big gun is happy to go to another man's region to acknowledge his presence. Imagine if we could have that as Africans in the UK. So the other point I want to make reference to is the Akwasidae on the 28th of July is not the correct date. The correct date is the 4th of August. So the next Akwasidae will be the 4th of August. But because Nananom have been so kind to the Southern Black Parents Forum, they understand the mission that we are trying to create around culture, African culture. And when we say African, we include Caribbean people in this. If you take a horse to Japan or New York, it's still a horse. So we use the one term African to represent the Black diaspora, and we recognize those cultures are not homogeneous, but it's an easier reference point for us. Because they have been so kind to not disturb their own Akwasidaes, we have brought ours forward by 1 week so that the public can get a sample, a taste of what this festival is. And as you can see, when you will come to the park, all of the children's activities are free, because when Nananum sits, we don't want anybody to pay, because they have their own cultural practice and system in terms of how you invite them and so forth. But we can touch that at a different time. So just to be clear, Akwasidae in the Akan calendar will be on the 4th of August. The next date is the 4th of August. We have brought us forward
Natasha,
because Nana.
we will be, Natasha, we will be celebrating also on the 4th, Akwasidae. It's already arranged for us to do that over in North London. I think I sent you the details for that one.
Okay, so that comes to another point. So, as I was saying, the groups, because Martin has the draft of the Akwasidae booklet, so he is aware that there are some people like Nana Opoku Aware. He is not somebody I've had dealings with. I've had dealings with installed and enschemed traditional rulers, and they have a subsect within them called progressive, but they are one. Those are the ones I've had dealings with and have worked with. But I'm aware that Nana Opoku Aware has an organization called Asanteman UK, which we do have a picture of him in the booklet, and we recognize that he does the Akwasidae as well. So he's having some. But the most important thing is, if these events are open to the public, which some of them are, the public will have an opportunity to see Nananum carrying out their cultural practices in their way without glaring eyes. But the Akwasidae by the Southern Black Parents Forum, supported by Enstooled and Inskeened, is one day forward because Nananum are open to sharing the customs and the traditions of the Akan people with the community.
Thank you. Can I just
Am I
ask
correct
you?
in saying that, Nana Ekuche? Nana Ekuche, do you have
Yes.
anything to add to that? Do you have anything to add to that?
Um, no, I just thank you very much for bringing this to mind. Actually, I forgot to mention the 4th August issue. The 4th August is actually the actual Akwasidae, as I told you, counting the days, the 18 days and the 22 days and blah, blah, blah. It will end up on the 4th. So the 4th is the actual traditional Akwasidae. This, we are just going to showcase what it looks like and what we do and give the community the opportunity to get involved with it, learn something out of it, and maybe try and find out more. So, and I said, I thank you for bringing that to light, and I thank my presenter too for
Yes.
allowing him to come around to explain some of these things just in a nutshell. Maybe at another time, there are a lot of things we can talk about
Yes.
um,
Yes.
Black community and uh,
Yes.
what we can do to merge our brothers from the Caribbean to the African group.
Yes. Yes.
There are a lot of Caribbeans already in Ghana. There
Yes.
are
Yeah.
a lot of them
So
who
true.
Yes. Yes.
right, who want to be there,
Yes.
and there are open arms in Ghana as well, ready to welcome them. I actually spoke to the Adontihene, who is my king, about this preparation for this Savok Akwasidae, and he was very keen, was very happy, and
Yes.
he's already told me anyone ready to want to go to Ghana. Um, the doors are opened and can always help anybody. If you go there, you will see it yourself. If you are in England, if you are in the Western world, you
Yes.
can only hear what they want you to hear.
Quite right.
But
Yes.
if you take a step and take a
Yes.
plunge into it and you go there, I bet probably you won't want to come back again.
Uh,
And so,
I'm sure you're correct. Now, we are almost out of time. And what I want to do in the last maybe 2 minutes or so is just go over these important dates and events. So, again, if I can ask maybe Natasha just to repeat the date, time, and location or the Akwasidae that you're referring to. Then I'll then go back to you, Nana, and Queen Mother, just to provide an opportunity for the audience. If they want to reach out to you, how can they do that? Is there an email address or a telephone number? But first of all, Natasha, just repeat the details of the Akwasidae that's scheduled on the 28th. Okay.
So the Akwasidae Festival will be held at Camberwell Green,
Mm-hmm.
12 to 6 p.m. at the park.
Yes.
There will be a procession of Nananum. We will release the time of that closer to the dates, but there will be a procession where you will get to see Nananum walk as a collective. And
Yes.
when they are coming, you will hear them, you will see them, and they
Yes.
stop traffic. Trust me, they are. It's a
Yeah.
fantastic parade. Uh,
Wonderful.
so when Nananum take their seats,
Yes.
they will also go ahead and talk about the cultural practices. So
Right.
Nana Ekojai will be present with Nana Sapong, who will start the process with pouring of the libation. You
Yes.
will get to witness, and they will also explain to us in the Akan language and in English the significance of the Akwasidae festival and the
Okay.
importance.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
So 12 to 6 p.m., Sunday the 28th of July. The park will open at 12
Okay.
and it will end at 6. Nananom will have a procession. So if you want to see the glamour and the glory of Nananom in their full attire, gracing us with their presence, get there before the procession starts
Yes.
and you can follow them. They are very graceful, providing you do not touch them when they are walking. You do not tag at them. They are open to people taking pictures. They were very amenable last year, and they will allow you to walk alongside them and take pictures, but do not touch them. And it's a very wonderful affair. I've alluded to it. There will be drumming workshops. There will be face painters, bouncy castles, activities for children, all for free. So what you
Family
have to pay
occasion.
for is what you are
Yes.
going to eat
Thank you. Yes.
and what you are going to drink. So
Yes.
please turn up, bring your family and friends. It's an open event for children and it's a wonderful affair to actually see. We will be having free booklets that have been produced by the
So
Southern Black
Natasha, I'm
Parents
almost out
Forum.
of time now. Almost out of time. Continue. Wait, just complete the booklet. I don't know. I need to go on. Go ahead.
We have free booklets that have been made by the Southern Black Parents Forum that Nananom have contributed to. Uh, uh, Demotivator has had an opportunity to see the booklets. We have lots of information. So there was the Ghanaian regions. We've talked about some of the festivals, Homowo, Bakatu, some rites of passages in there. So it's jam-packed information. So
It
not
is.
only do you get to have a DJ playing fantastic music, we'll have some surprise artists, you get some historical information. This is an
Thank
event
you.
to be remembered. Can't be
Thank you.
missed.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Wonderful. Queen Mother, can you?
Yes.
I know that I've received messages. People want to reach out to you. Okay. How if they want to
Yes.
contact you? Is there an email address, or what means can they contact you if they want to reach out to you?
Oh, they can contact me on my email. Would you like me to say it out loud now, or would you like
Yes,
to pass it on to
in
them?
fact, no need. If you send it to me, for those of you who
Okay.
viewing the recordings, it will be on the captions on the recording. So if you give it to me, after the show, I will take it from you. That's
Yeah.
fine. That's right.
Okay then.
That's all right.
I'm usually available for discussions, especially I get a lot of questions from not just Jamaicans, but from Caribbeans,
I'm sure.
from
Yes.
people who are living here from the diaspora about
Yes.
how did you become a queen mother, what
That's
it does
right.
it entail, and
Yes.
so on and so forth. So I'll be happy to discuss any of the topics. And if I don't know, I've got my learned friend here that
Oh
I can
yes.
always ask a question and to. I've learned so much today.
Oh
It's been
yes.
absolutely
Yeah.
interesting and intriguing and interesting. Thank you so much for
Thank you.
enlightening us on so many different topics. You
Yes.
really ought to be going into the universities and the
Mm.
schools to be presenting all of this facts and
Watch this space
information.
of time.
Eh.
We are going to you listen. Watch this
Yes,
space.
Okay, they're planning for you, sir. They're planning for you. Can I,
yes,
if,
we are.
can I just, if I may, Nana, just go back to you, sir, and I just want to, if I may, just give you the last minute just to wrap up for us, because you've provided a really useful overview of Ghanaian culture and traditions. Okay, and I've learned a great deal from you in these few minutes. I knew this time would run out. I knew we'd go over time, but I need to contain it carefully. I'm going to give you 1 minute to give us your closing words to inspire the audience. Over to you for 1 minute, please. 1 minute.
Right. Thanks very much for
Uh-huh.
giving us the opportunity to come around here.
Uh-huh.
All I can say is we have to start changing our mindset
Yes.
about Black people.
Yes.
So now that you've given us this opportunity, I think your area is here, and anyone who wants to know anything can always contact us through you. I thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank
My
you.
pleasure. My pleasure. I want to
Thank you.
thank you all. That was a fantastic presentation. I'm going to give you the official applause. Listen to this. There you go. There you are. The official applause. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. You've truly informed and empowered the audience. I'm confident, and judging by the messages I'm receiving, they are truly inspired. They're motivated to take the next step, to inquire, to understand themselves better. Because honestly, you're reciting a part of my culture, my history that I've been cut off from for far too long. And there are tens of millions of us across the Caribbean and the Americas cut off for far too long. Thank you, that bridge. Thank you, Natasha. You said it, the bridge. Yeah. Thank you so much. Queen Mother, thank you very much. Blessings to you all. Until the next time, I remain the motivator. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. Wow.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Wow. Wasn't that something, huh? Wasn't that something? Oh my gosh. Wasn't that something? And you understand why I do these podcasts. You understand why it's so necessary to get the truth of Africa. High civilization, you heard the complexity of that civilization that had existed for thousands of years, long before Europe found civilization. Yeah? You hear the complexity, yeah? And we've only touched the surface, yeah? You heard you recall the episode where I focused on Ethiopia, another civilization that had lasted thousands of years, yeah? This is the facts. These are people living in the history, as it were, yeah? And they're relaying it to you live today in contemporary times. So we have the ability to effect change, dramatic change in our life and our well-being. That's why the lifestyle messages are there. Take note. But now we need to address those other fundamental issues that affect all communities, and most certainly the African heritage communities. Okay. We have that power, we have the ability to address it. So, what I'm going to do now, I'm going to play the intro video, but it's a highly informative info video. I want you to pay close attention to the detail, to the content, okay? It's there available on YouTube, on Facebook, and please, once you watched it, make a comment. Don't just leave it. Make a comment or go to another one of the videos you'll see on the Motivator Show on YouTube or Facebook, or indeed Mixcloud, yeah? Please do so, because these shows are intended to inform, to empower, to motivate you, to take action, to improve all your lives, not just some lives, all our lives. And together we will make the difference. So until the next strong, I remain the motivator. Yeah, because we can translate our words into action, and where success is ours for the taking. The Motivator Show. The internet's most inspirational podcast. Every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. Akwasidae Festival 2024. The day of the sacred Golden Stool. Visit Campbell Green in London on Sunday, the 28th of July, 2024, to witness this amazing event. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred Golden Stool. Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the 16th Ashanti was installed on April 26, 1999, reflecting a direct succession to the Ashanti Empire 17th century founder Otumfuo Osei Tutu I. He also holds the position of Chancellor at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Grand Patron of the Grand Lodge of Ghana, Sword Bearer of the United Grand Lodge of England, born on May 6, 1950, as Barima Kwakwa Jua, He is the youngest child of the late Ashanti Henna, Nana Afro Kobe Sua, and Pem II. His early life was shaped under the guidance of his uncle, Honoba Mensa Bonsu, who instilled in him a deep understanding of Ashanti traditions and statecraft. Barima Kwaka Dua's nomination to succeed his late brother, Otumfuo Opoko Were II, as Asante Ena, was met with universal acclaim in the Ashanti Kingdom and across Ghana. Ascending to the golden stool, he brought a natural gift of calm and radiance that instantly inspired loyalty and motivates those around him. He was raised with the values of courtesy and tact, understanding that traditional leadership involves reconciling differences, healing wounds, and motivating people. Known as Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, he is married to Lady Julia Osei Tutu, affectionately known among the Ashanti people as the First Lady. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Since installed, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II has elevated the profile of the Ashanti Kingdom, focusing on education, economic development, and peace building. He has successfully resolved over 500 land and chieftaincy disputes, preventing potential conflict. Recognizing his leadership, the government of Ghana appointed him chairman of a committee of eminent chiefs to resolve the Yendi Skin affair, a conflict that had led to the murder of the king of the Dagbon. His passion for education led to the establishment of the Afuntu Education Fund, which has provided scholarship to over 5,000 students across various educational levels. Additionally, he founded the Soa Apom Aid Foundation for Children, led by his wife to support children affected by the HIV pandemic. Through his initiatives, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II secured a World Bank grant for promoting partnership with traditional authorities project, resulting in new school buildings and facilities with water and electricity. His commitment to traditional leadership in modern society was highlighted during his keynote address in the United Kingdom in September 2023. Notably, he visited Trinidad and Tobago in July 2023 for the Emancipation Day, becoming the first African king to visit the islands, aiming to reconnect and strengthen ties with Caribbean communities. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. The sacred Ashanti stool is the golden stool. It represents the authority of the Ashanti Henny king, enshrines the soul of the nation, and symbolizes the kingdom's unity. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. The festival is celebrated every 6 weeks, aligning with the traditional Ashanti calendar, and involves various rituals, including drumming, dancing, and singing. The Ashanti Henny, adorned in regal attire, receives homage from his subjects and addresses issues concerning the kingdom. The Akwasidae Festival is not only a time of reverence and celebration, but also an essential element in the social and political structure of the Ashanti kingdom. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Among the Ashanti and other Akan peoples, stools play an important role in each person's life. When children learn to crawl, they receive stools as their first gift from their father. Young women, puberty rites entail sitting on their stool. A husband presents his wife with a stool when they marry. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Nana Poko Wori, head of the Bianco family of Nkuku Brui Kumasi, the one chosen by Otumfuo Osei Tutu II, the king of the Ashanti, to lead Ashanti men in the UK. He says, "I am a custodian of Ashanti heritage, celebrating all of our traditional customs and rites when it is needed. Ashanti Man's UK objective is to advance the education of the public in the artistic and cultural heritage of Ashanti Man culture, particularly by promoting workshops, concerts and festivals that celebrate the cultural heritage and music of Ashanti Man. I've lived in Britain since 1986. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Osabarimima Gaisi Botang Adokyo II. I am Oko Nana of the Ogona royal family. Also, Ayam Okosheni in the Oyam Otoko area. Birim North District in the eastern region of Ghana. In keeping with the expectation of Otumfuo Tutu II, I have done a lot for the people in my hometown and in our communities here, promoting our cultural values among the up-and-coming generation of our citizenry. I've lived in Britain since 1983. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Na Tisoi Suyu I, Paramount Queen in Jamestown, Accra, installed for 13 years. My great-grandfather, my uncle, my dad, also my mother, is a royal of the Tikulise Nahu Ga dynasty. I was nominated by the relevant family and handed over to the kingmaker for capture, anointing, confinement, cleansing, other rites. Installation including outdoor coronation. I am a custodian of culture, women and children, support to the king, broad-based projects including STEM for girls. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred golden stool. Na Adoa Ekitli, Queen Mother of Progress and Development. Na has lived in London for 53 years. She is of Jamaican descent and started visiting Ghana in 1996. She states that she has been welcomed by the Ghanaian community and has been treated with the utmost respect. Due to most people in Ghana knowing how to speak English, coupled with the support of her adopted daughter, Na had had no difficulties in terms of language barriers. The Year of Return, Ghana 2019, is a major landmark, spiritual and birthright journey inviting the global African family, home and abroad, to mark 400 years of the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in Jamestown, Virginia, United States of America. The arrival of enslaved Africans marked a sordid and sad period when our kith and kin were forcefully taken away from Africa into years of deprivation, humiliation, and torture. While August 2019 marks 400 years since enslaved Africans arrived in the United States, the Year of Return, Ghana 2019, celebrates the cumulative resilience of all the victims of the transatlantic chattel enslavement trade, who were scattered and displaced through the world in North America, South America, the Caribbean, Europe, and Asia. Akwasidae Festival 2024, the day of the sacred Golden Stool. Visit Camberwell Green in London on Sunday the 28th of July 2024 to witness this amazing event. You are all most welcome. The Motivator Show. Success is ours for the taking. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's free. Press the like button and don't forget to leave a comment. Follow us on Facebook. Give us the thumbs up and share with your family and friends. We are also on Instagram and TikTok. Follow us there too. You can listen to us on galaxyafui.net and also Mixcloud too.